So you just mentioned about databases never having taken off in libraries, and I would have totally agreed with you until 3 months ago, when our numbers suddenly just started to go up. We collect our stats monthly. And my thinking, you can all help me think this through maybe, is that we've come to a point in internet literacy where people are very comfortable now having to make a second account, having to log into things. It's not like in the old days, if you wanted to buy some tickets to go to Pirates of Penzance, you just typed in your credit card number and you got the tickets. Now you have to create an account, they send you an email, you have to verify the email. There are many, many steps. And so I think all our users are getting more used to these kinds of things, and the idea of going through the library website to another website, having a second login, possibly having to make an account like with Rocket Languages or some of those databases. I just think that maybe we are reaching another point with databases and we need to give them another rethink. I'm just throwing that out there.
And see, I find it really interesting because I resubscribe now to Harvard Business Review online, because when they've actually reconnected it as a magazine and are including the visuals so that you can see it instead of as it's been for text for so long, then I like it that way. For the longest time, we sort of broke it out because we wanted people to be able to search by topic, and we still do. But people still like to browse magazines, and they still want to see it as a component, and I think that's going to drive use back up too. I mean, it's just as a comment.
My name is Luann Freund, and I'm on the faculty at the iSchool here at UBC. And I guess my question always is focusing on students and competencies and the kind of graduates we're putting out there. So I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on implications for our graduates working in the public library sector, which in my mind, at least, we've had some concerns about whether that's something that our students should be focusing on as changes in the sector maybe brought that into question. So, thank you.
Yeah, actually, it's a really good question, and it's come up several times from the deans as well. And I've been part of sort of a competencies group that had been looking at that until a couple of years ago. But because the message I heard from a number of the deans, which is incredibly valid, is which set of competencies, because there are multiple sets of competencies that are actually out there and exist. And I'm going to take your comment back, because I know there has been an initiative that's probably slowed down at the present time between Carl, the academic libraries, and Kulk, the urban libraries as well, to sort of get together and take their sets of competencies and try to combine them so that there is an easier sense of what it means to teach to competencies. I can certainly say that in conversations with public librarians, that what they have said is that for the longest period of time, management positions were something that people only achieved after a great number of years of working in libraries. And that what we're beginning to see is a much, much shorter period of time between when they graduate and when they become managers, and even senior managers of a number of library systems, both large and small. So one of the things that was absent from a number of the iSchools and the professional programs for a long time was really management courses, and courses that sort of suggested that people might want to think about a career in management. But what a lot of chief librarians have said to me is that they're hiring staff not so much for the position that they're taking now, but for their management potential for the next position and the position after that. When I've talked to a number of graduates, including people that have gone to the Northern Exposure to Leadership, and several of them here have, is that when we start talking about leadership positions, at least a portion of them would even sit there and say, I didn't necessarily go into it for management. I'm not sure that that's something that I'm really interested in the first place. And yet so there's a certain issue of whether or not people want to take those positions, but they're going to be there. I think that one problem that we have faced is that we expected there to be a fair number of openings in public libraries in particular because of retirements, but because of the sort of changes in retirement rules and regulations and economic downturn, we're not seeing the same turnover that we expected to, which is most unfortunate. So it probably means that you don't get as much of the attention in the iSchool if you're not presenting as many of the jobs as you probably expected. I would suspect is the case, you know. But we're looking for innovation. We're looking for people that can go into the community and be outreach so that they're not shy. We're looking for people that have initiative so they understand the mission of the organization and can carry that mission and commit the organization with confidence. And we're looking for people that are preparing for management. We're looking for them to be teachers. We're looking them to start by being mentored and then to become mentors themselves for other people. Is that good enough?
Hi. One of the things as chair is trying to get politicians to understand the relevance of libraries. And in municipal elections, they turn over every 3 years. So it becomes a bit of a re-education process. They also sign the paychecks and put the budget together to allow us to do the things we need to do in the library. One of the things we've done is get them involved in trivia nights and living library and children's reading. Is there some success that you've seen out there to get the local politician to understand the relevance of libraries and get that kind of support that we'd like to see?
Yeah, and in fact, as I even mentioned, one of the things I'm probably most proud of in Hamilton is that we're a well-supported library system in a northeastern industrial community that has lost much of its industrial base, where its assessment base has gone downhill, where the population has remained static, and yet the library funding has never sustained a cut in the last 17 years. And so to me, that was a tremendous achievement. And the reason for that is, and I have kind of several truisms. One of them is that politicians give money to organizations they trust to spend it well, you know. And so what we have to do is enable that trust. We do not manage to get money by whining. We don't manage to get money by talking about the fact that we're good, because presumably everything that a municipality does is good. And you're actually against a number of different programs that are actually very good themselves. So you get money by creating trust, and you get money by, as I even say, street presence, people walking by doing your advertising instead of a shiny brochure that's inside the library as an insert in the newspaper that doesn't look as good but is available to the entire community. You may not get any more people that are attending the programs, but everybody sees it and they know what the library is actually doing. You get it by having partnerships within the local community so that if there's an initiative that's dealing with youth and ways in which youth can be involved in after school, then you're working with the YMCA, recreation, the school boards, police, the the library system itself, so that you're working with all of those organizations and they know that you're there and you're working with them, and that you're there and as you're a partner that is dealing with issues that are community. You make sure that your strat plan takes into consideration the strat plans of the school boards, the strat plan of the municipality, and that it is compatible with many of the needs that the community is expressing as well. And you make that point when you go and you talk to counselors. You don't just ask for the money, you talk about your successes of what it is that you've done in the past years, and you use at least a few images, you know, so that they can begin to see them. And you make sure that you seed the people that are the success stories within those. And you know, I think those are the ways in which you can make sure that your funding base is secure, because I think the bottom line is people give money to organizations and to people that they trust to spend it well.